weekend. You know what? That's a good flipping question. Um, I speak about this while I was on my cement jet ski coming here to do this, man. What jogged my mind was one of the most craziest things. I was thinking back when, once upon a time, when I was working as a civilian social worker on Rikers Island. I recall one time, because we're talking about movies, a movie that I saw in person where there was an alarm, right? Remember when the alarm goes off, something's wrong in Rikers. What's happening, right? So next
crazy.
thing, absolutely. So next thing I come and they always treat the civilians like a soft person. They go, yeah, go over there, man. Get out of here. You don't know what's going on. So one of the cool officers tell me, yo, man, somebody's missing. So I go, what? Somebody escaped? And they go, yeah, man, something. We don't know where they're at. So next thing you know, they start cracking the cells. They crack the first cell. They're like, yeah, name, number, who are you? And they go to the next person. And then, the cells have twin beds.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For
Facts. For one person, yeah.
When they crack the cell, you can see the crown of two heads, man. You saw a Caesar with dried out waves. And then on the other person, you saw some black dusty dreadlocks, like dusty locks.
Wait, you just saw the dome? Like the...
Yeah, two people, man. I shit you not. This is an OBCC.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going crazy. I'm like, oh, they found him. But what made me think that it was something other than what they thought it was because I saw I thought it was a female. I thought it was maybe a female officer did something crazy. She slept in the room and forgot to wake up in the morning or some dumb shit.
But it was like two of the same sex.
Two of the same sex,
no.
man. They were spooning in a twin bed.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. So the next thing you know, the captain go in there, he's diesel. He walks in there, he's heated because this is an embarrassment. So he goes there, he grabbed the dusty locks, he yanks the shit off the head, and I'm like, damn, he ripped this motherfucker's roots of his locks out his head and threw the shit. And he was like, diesel and shit. His hand was jet black. He's like, dude, what the F is this, man? What's this in my hand? And then the dude that was supposed to be a guy jumped up and he was all embarrassed and shameful. The other person, they stood up and was like, come on, man, what's all this? And I said, oh, that's another dude. And he's chucking up his boxes because, his backside was I don't know, maybe they was laying there having butt sex or something crazy.
This is wild.
So anyway, I'm going, what is that? How do you get a weave or a wig on Rikers? And it's a mop head, man. It was a mop head.
Oh, no.
And then he was like, I took some shoe shine polish and made a wig. And I said, what? How did he get that on Rikers in the first place?
They get
and the captain still got his arm all diesel. He's like, like this shit was going to dissolve and it was going to chew himself away plus his uniform. Right? So I'm bugging like, wow. But then I thought, as a social worker, I'm saying, well, damn, in this new world of transitioning and helping people become who they want to become, why couldn't we put together some money, some funds, a GoFundMe for somebody locked in a prison colony with a goddamn mop on their head to get a decent leave or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even being funny. I was like, that's humiliating.
That's real.
This dude had to bastardize himself.
That's a shame, man. That's a shame.
He bastardized himself.
That's a shame, bro. That's a shame.
Yeah.
But...
And then the other guy was acting like he wasn't really with it no more. Like, that was his sad victim. You know what I mean by sad?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah, of course.
Sexual appreciation dummy.
Yeah.
Sad.
It's definitely, it's sad literally and figuratively. It's both ends.
Yeah, so, I mean, that wasn't what my weekend was about, but that was on my mind because since today's topic is about the depiction of movies and life. That was my movie.
Yeah, today's, like my man, as just said, today's topic is about movies, but my weekend was regular, bro. I just relaxed, tried to chill. Only thing I was upset with is what we touched on in the first episode, the now versus then topic. So, with that being said, NYC, New York City, one of the greatest cities, born and raised, me and you both.
Yes, East Coast.
Yeah, exactly. We rep that to the end. But guess what? NYC does the most, and they end up doing nothing at all. With this new implementation of jaywalking, they legalized it. So now you can legally cross the street in front of drivers with no problem. Now, I don't have an issue with jaywalking, bro. Everybody's been jaywalking since before I was born. I was doing it, but guess what? We do it in a responsible way. We run across the street. We avoid traffic. Now it's crazy right now, bro. Like they'll literally look at you like do walking across the red leisurely. Look at you like hit me.
That started after COVID.
Yeah, and it's crazy, bro. And what gets me is that I just want to Mad Max these dudes. I want to Mad Max. I wish it was Mad Max times so I could be on Thunderdome these people because trust me, it can happen. It can happen. You might get a dude that's ready to crash out like the dude from Michael Douglas from Falling Down. Remember that movie? Remember that movie?
Yeah.
He crashed out. So y'all motherfuckers get that dude that want to crash out because I'm gonna be that dude. I'm gonna crash out on one of y'all. I'm gonna be on the Thunderdome. We don't need another hero and run your ass over. I'm not playing with these dudes. It's crazy.
The reason for the whole approach of this thing was because people who have come to us often more times than less, and I could vouch. Like I've heard people say, "Man, yo, you need to be doing something where you're heard, not just doing this on a park bench or at a freaking lounge at a club or something." So you know what, we feel invested in this because there was already people that are praised and qualified and verified for us through our travels in life. Pretend that someone came to me and said, "You got 10 movies left, man. That's all you can watch."
I like that.
And we're beyond those movies right there, those choices, that's all you're going to have for the rest of existence.
That's like books as well. Fire. Yeah,
that too. So that's how I would pick my stuff. So of course I'm going to categorize it by genres and things like that. I'm not going to just pick fucking 2 horror movies, 10 horror movies, or whatever the case may be. But if I just had to pick off the top of my melon, man.
Oh, just off the top of the, shoot from the hip, off the top of the dome, you know what I'm saying?
These have to be movies that I had to have watched repeatedly.
Exactly.
So I'm going to start with horror movies because I'm not a horror movie person.
Okay.
But you know what is a horror movie to me?
What?
Prison.
Oh, that's the most horrific shit ever.
I'm not scared of any confrontation and things like that.
Your freedom, bro.
Yeah, because I can take a eye socket adjustment and all that, getting hit in my lip and all that. That's cool. You know, that's light. But my freedom? Wow, that's heavy right there. But anyway, horror movies. Blood In, Blood Out.
Ooh.
1990s.
Okay.
The man Ving Rhames was Popo. The kid, the Diesel dude, he looked like he was like half.
He was Dick Swole, right?
Yeah, he looked like a Pacific Islander mixed with a Mexican. I forgot his name, man. Benji Pratt, right? So him and all these dudes, they grew up as Chicanos in the neighborhood. They were representing as a little gang in their hood, and it was real, it was prideful, it was cultural. And then the next thing you know, somebody had died, right? Somebody got killed. And now all of a sudden, when everybody's in trouble, the same thing that's going on right now, somebody told or somebody saw what happened or whatever the case may be, and then it got real. Somebody had to go up north, which was, I wasn't sure. I think it was Atticus, New York. That's crazy. It had to be San Quentin or one of those joints on the West Coast. Yeah. Shout out to the West Coast.
Oh, no doubt. Love is love.
And I'd never been to California up to that point. So when I saw this movie, this was my first scared street.
Yeah.
Right? So like I said, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want nothing to do with a prison colony. So when I saw that and I said, wow, it was broken down into the races. This guy thought that what he learned in the street meant something in there, and it meant absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, they punked his mind a couple times. The one dude, what was his name? Popeye. He tried to make him pay the punk tax and all that. Yeah, all of that, man. It was crazy. The racial war, and then the other dude, I think he was able to get out. Benji Pratt was able to cop out to the military, then he became an undercover, which the circle of life led him to come back to his homeboy because they were on the opposite sides of the fence. And then, you know, for those who hadn't seen the movie, I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a terrific movie.
Oh, trust. Y'all need to check it. 3
hours is definitely lengthy in regards to sitting there for a while, but it runs easy on the eyes because the writing in that back then had to be done by somebody who had did some real time and somebody who said, you know what, I agree. I'm gonna take care of this. I'm gonna make sure we take care of this.
Coddle it.
Yeah, we're not gonna let this go out.
Coddle it and birth it.
Yeah, we're not gonna let this hit the screen and be a failure. Unfortunately, it was. It was a box office flop.
Yeah, but
thanks to DHS and VCRs and all that. It took off. Yeah, that's a classic.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah, Blood In, Blood Out, man.
I like that selection right there. Rocky. And there's a bunch of First of all, Sylvester Stallone, I gotta give him his championship belt. He's a beast, a powerhouse. Even to this day, he's in that show on TV. Tulsa
the King of Tulsa.
King of Tulsa.
Yeah,
whatever.
he's killing that too.
Killing it. A great director, great actor, iconic all the way around the board. But what started it for Stallone?
Pornos?
Oh, I heard something about that. We ain't touching that. We ain't gonna touch on that right now.
I got enough flags for the day anyway.
What started was Rocky. That turned him into an icon, into what he is today. And I mean, you got so many Rockies. To me, the first set of Rockies were the best, but in my book, Rocky number 2. For the people, Rocky number 2. And why I say Rocky number 2, why when that comes on, I have to watch. Well, any Rocky I have to watch when it comes on. But Rocky number 2 specifically is because, bro, if you wanna be hype, if you want an adrenaline rush, Eddie Murphy said this Eddie Murphy's a GOAT of comedy. We all know this. And he said this in Raw back in the days, his special, that Italians, after they see Rocky, remember that?
Yeah.
Remember after they see Rocky, what happens?
Yeah.
They're delusional. They come out super hype, but Eddie was wrong. Well, respectfully, Eddie, you was wrong. Anybody that sees Rocky, man, woman, and child, you see Rocky, especially the part when Adrian, she's unconscious. She's out for the count. She's in the hospital, done. And she wakes up out of the coma, and the first thing she says to Rocky, mind you, she doesn't want Rocky to box or anything like that, but she is in a coma now. She wakes up, and she tells Rocky, like, yo, bro, come here. Let me holler at you for a second. In earnest, she says, win. Rocky, go win.
Yeah, she
now,
sure did.
Again, I don't want to always compare art to life, but if my woman, my shorty, that I call my woman, my partner, tells me to go win like that out of a coma in earnest, I'm going to knock somebody's head off. Yeah. I'm going to dominate. She's telling me, yo, Rock, let me holler at you. Go win. Yeah. And then the music comes on. Yeah. The music comes on after that.
The music in Rocky is
it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So, and then your man, what's the trainer? Mick. He's like speed. After that scene switches to when he's in Philly, running with the kids in Philly.
That was part 2?
It's part 2, bro.
I don't know. I thought that was
part. He's running. The cinematography is crazy because now you see him running, and it literally looks like this dude is running 100 miles an hour. It's crazy. He dusts them kids off, runs up the steps. It's like getting stronger. The kids is like, go, Rocky, go. He runs at the top of the famous steps.
Damn right. Yeah.
Dominate, wins, and guess what? Let me tell you something, people. Eddie was wrong. Because after that scene, I can go play a basketball game and drop 40. Yeah. If you want to play a game, you need to go watch that, drop 40 points. If you, if you're a doctor about to perform surgery, open heart surgery, watch that. It's going to be flawless. The surgery is going to be lit. If you're...
with no equipment.
Yeah, no equipment. You're just going to go in. Listen. I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. I don't use, Cialis or any of these things, hymns, these things that come over hymns. Yeah. But guess what? For sex, natural aphrodisiac. Watch Rocky. After you watch Rocky, you're going to dominate the pum pum. Guaranteed. Win. You get that, you get getting stronger. Okay. You can't watch that without being hyped. You can't. There's no possible, unless you're dead inside, bro. Yeah. If you're dead inside, then I can't help you. But if you got some kind of life, watch Rocky 2. Yeah. It's gonna make you right. And you're gonna dominate the good box.
Because I was this close, like, wait a minute, watch Rocky and you what? Like, I was but I got
going down after that.
I get where you're going with that.
Yeah.
No, Rocky. You know what's the crazy thing about the Rocky series? The Rocky series to me was always the life story first, and the boxing was second. It was never about the boxing.
It's never about
the boxing. Was just a device to keep like men interested because you wanted to see him always come back in a fight. But yeah, you're right. You're right. And speaking of people that come from perseverance and fortitude, like mental strength, I'm not gonna lie. I was never a Ray Charles fan growing up, and nor was I not, because I was a little too young to like really understand or hear his music when he was most popular. But when I saw that biographical in the movies that Jamie Foxx did, man, first off, they picked the perfect person. He knows how to play the piano. He knows how to sing. And I think Jamie Foxx has an affinity to Ray Charles in regards that may have been like someone he looked up to, because Jamie's a little older, and I think that he had to be a fan of Ray Charles to some extent. Beyond the musician, just Ray Charles, because he had the dude's whole, man, let me get clinical. He had his affect there. When I say affect, I mean that the way that when he engages people and he does responses, his movement.
He became him.
He became him, man. Totally. With the look, physically, the way he responded, the way he even spoke. You know, he really nailed it, man. And I never really knew Ray's whole story from the antebellum South, and then he could see. I thought he was always blind from when he was born.
I didn't know what story.
Yeah, so when I saw that he became blind, to me, being born blind would probably be easier than becoming blind after you know what it's like to see. If that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense.
So for him to do that, for the old man that taught him how to play the piano, and for it to carry on, he taught him how to play like. I'm not a pianist or anything like that, but he taught him how to play on like I want to say the most inferior type of piano, and then later on he started playing on more developed devices, and he killed it. I mean, I love his story from his formative years going into the middle, where he had his ups and downs with addiction, how he overcame addiction, and Jamie never lost character in that role, man. He really held it, man. Yeah, I mean,
I agree, and let's applaud Ray Charles, because he's definitely iconic in this game.
That movie, man. And I'll tell you, I was this close in choosing someone else. I was gonna give it to the Tina Turner movie.
That's a good one.
Yeah, with my girl, Angela Bassett, because she became Tina as well. You know.
Yeah.
But I just gotta give it to Jamie. Jamie got that one.
Okay.
He definitely.
I respect that. I like that. Marked for Death with Steven Seagal.
That is hilarious.
Now, many people would look at Marked for Death as an action movie and say, well, the action is the special effects, is bootleg, is why is it a top 10? But I don't look at Marked for Death for action. I look at it for the comedy. And first of all, my people are Jamaican. All right, number one in this movie.
Caribbean too.
Exactly. So, in this movie, these are some of the most inept Jamaicans I've ever seen in my life. Steven Seagal dominates all these Jamaicans too easy. That's false. But anyway, let me digress. The number one reason why this particular movie is in my top 10 is that if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it, the people, go check it out, is there's a character named Screwface. And Screwface is sitting down playing dominoes with his friends, chilling.
The table scene?
Yeah, the table scene. Yo, and they come in, first of all, they come in and holler at Screwface. So, mind you, there's somebody next to Screwface to the left. He's not part of any gang affiliation. He's just chilling. Matter of fact, in his hand, I think he has copy coup. He's about to win the game. Screwface, they come in. Nesta dead. Or who do it? The white boy Hacha? That's all that happens.
Right, he thought they told him somebody killed his homeboy.
Somebody killed his homeboy. Or who do it? The white boy Hacha? Yeah. My man to the left of Screwface.
That was his man.
He's just there chilling. He's not even part of no gang, nothing. He's just having fun. He's about to beat Screwface. But guess what? Screwface beats him, dominates him, rips off the leg of the table, and gives him the illest fade you ever seen in life. Knocks his full fucking head off. My man was about to have copy cool. What are we doing? I've never seen this in a movie before. For the strength of that, that's in my top 10.
You picked Mark for Death because of a scene?
One scene. That's the illest scene, the illest fade I seen any man catch, bro.
Yeah.
Who do it? The white boy Hacha? And that was it.
That's like being a child and you choosing Karate Kid because he does the crane kick. That was his crane kick for you.
Yeah. Knocked his whole head off.
That was ill though. He did tear his head off with the table. And that was his man too. Well,
I don't even think. That was his henchman. I think that
That was the op that happened to be playing?
I just think he just came to chill and have fun. He just wanted to be down. And he got the illest caught the illest fade ever in life. Nobody caught a fade like that.
Yeah. That was hilarious. I can't lie. That was probably one of the top 3 funniest things I've ever seen. If you'd have said one of the 3 funniest things you'd ever seen, I definitely would have said Screwface tore the leg of the table off with his bare hands.
And then the music playing in the scene while it's happening, that amps it.
Yeah,
that amps it. When you watching the scene, listen to the music.
Yeah, it was like some stringy guitar. Like, and then
come on, man. Finishes on. He dominated. He thought he was gonna dominate Screwface with the copy coup, but Screwface dominated him.
The BT2, man.
Ooh.
And here's why. First and foremost, Arnold Schwarzenegger is hilarious. Arnold, if you ever was scrolling through your computer and the algorithms guided you to us, I'm gonna give it to you, man. Respectfully. I mean, I'm gonna give you your props, right? But yeah, that movie was crazy. Like, I thought I fixed that, man.
It's too late. It's too late.
All right, okay. I'm not giving the Terminator no Ozzy ooh. I'm just giving the Terminator his props.
Well, for the people, these flags that we have, we throw the flags when things are flagrant. Right. Anything flagrant, we throwing the flag for. Yeah. And I had to throw the flag on my man. SR7G had to get it right there.
Yeah. No, you're right. We revisiting the flags. I think this is gonna be a permanent thing. We mentioned it in episode 1.
Yeah.
So I think this is gonna be something that just remains. All right. Anyway, Terminator 2. That movie was the trendsetter, I feel, for all sci-fi because, for one, that was the sequel to a movie that came out in the freaking late 70s or early 80s, and then it came back like a decade later. And then, let's be real, Arnold aged a little. And they fit him into that role to the point where he wasn't doing too much. Only flaw in that movie was that the stunt double was obvious.
Oh, yeah.
That was hideous what was going on with that. To the point where, he had one jet black leather suit on, and we knew that was Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. But then when he dipped around the truck on the highway chasing all that, I'm like, yo, come on, man. That looked like my father, man, with his skin boots. Word, my father
you remember when you saw that movie?
Hell yeah, I saw that movie in the movie theater. It was crazy, and I didn't pay. That was back in the days when you could hop the line. I went, I saw it. I love the whole theme. I love post-apocalyptic things where it's about the world's about to end. What you gonna do?
Yo, we vibe on that, bro.
Yeah, right?
I love that.
Okay, we can agree on something. Maybe I could get that flag back. But no, seriously, that movie was the trendsetter. Special effects TGI, the T-1000.
T-1000.
He killed that role. The dude didn't even have any lines. All he said was like 2 or 3 words that whole movie. But his paralanguage, his mannerisms, and then when he got blown apart, and then he would reconnect. That was the first time you'd ever seen something like that on television or on film, and it was amazing to me. The line Schwarzenegger, with his little "I'll be back" and all that crap, and then when at the end when he threw the thumb up like this, being dipped in the lava, I was like, oh man. But then that movie allowed for part 3, part 4. The Terminator Salvation.
Yeah.
They killed that, man. I love how they did the whole thing with the what was that company, Skynet. And then the cliche in most movies, the AIs realize that we can't handle the Earth, so therefore they feel like we should extinct ourselves, or they're gonna do it for us. I'm getting a little tired of that. But remember, that was 1990 something. But I don't remember the exact year, but it was the 90s.
We got AI now, though, bro.
It was acceptable. No, you're right. It's relevant. And that's why I like the movie. And that's why I can keep watching it, because it's still playing out. Anything that's timeless and doesn't attach itself to a certain era and get stuck there, I can be bothered with it, man. I could be bothered with it. T2, they killed that.
I like that. I like
special effects, Arnold, the plot, and how the movie allowed for more to be created.
And Arnold is ridiculous. He's Ridic Diesel.
Oh yeah. Anytime. Listen, let's keep it real. Arnold steroids or whatever he does, he was the governor.
He was the best.
Yeah, it worked for him.
Casino. So Casino's in my top 10. Yes. You have Martin Scorsese directing and already Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
He's amazing as a director. I love how he does his films. I love how he has the actors narrate the films. He does it in all his movies. And if you guys haven't seen Casino, please check it out. It's so dope. I don't know if you should have seen it already, but there's people out here who haven't seen it. Go ahead, rock. You got Joe Pesci. You got De Niro. Two powerhouses. De Niro, De Niro's a Super Saiyan in acting. We all know this. He's ridiculous. And so it... But the way I say art imitates life. So so what I take from Casino is, you got this dude De Niro. He got the shorty. She's bad. Ginger. He's trying to buy love. He's trying to buy love. Yeah. So you got these dudes out there with the bag. These men out here with the bag, and that's fine. This ain't hate what I'm saying right now, because if you out here having fun doing your thing, you got the bag and you got all this.
That's your love language.
That's cool. Yeah. But you got other guys out there that got the bag and they trying to buy love. And you can't buy love, bro. No. You saw what happened to my man in the movie, and this happens in real life. You trying to buy love, but yet Sharon Stone, she's over there pressed with the dude, and all the other guy has is donkey and problems. The bum dude just has donkey and problems. That's all he could give Sharon Stone.
You said donkey and problems.
Donkey and problems. That's all he could give Sharon Stone.
Problems.
But yet De Niro's giving her the world. And what happens? She's not pressed with De Niro.
Yeah.
She's
still going back to the
her pum pum is dry as fuck.
Yeah.
It's dry. It's like the Sahara. It's like the Sahara.
Yeah.
You see the tumbleweeds, coming around when she's with but when
the X, that was
with
Deathstroke.
the X.
He was Deathstroke. Yeah.
With the X, her joint is Super Soaker.
Yeah.
Super Soaker, pum pum wet.
And that is how it goes.
And that's how it goes. So when I related to art imitates life. You know what I'm saying? So if you a player, you doing your thing, fine. You know the game, you know what it is, fine. That's all good. But don't get it twisted. Money cannot buy love. It can't. It can't. It could get. She'll take part in your funds and your assets. She'll partake in that, the spending of your funds and your assets and what have you. But she's not pressed, bro. She's not pressed. So that's why I put Casino in my top 10.
Okay, that's fair. I'll be honest. I love how you frame it, where you take life and you mix it with art. Like, that's how you watch movies. Like, I can't lie, I don't do that all the time. Sometimes I go, and I just...
You turn off.
Yeah, I'm a meatball on the couch just watching. Whatever the screen show me, I believe it. I want to believe it. Because sometimes life be life too hard.
No, seriously.
I gotta get out.
I turn it down as well. I turn it down some.
Yeah.
But when I see something that I gravitate to, I grab onto it.
Right,
and that,
your favorites.
That Casino shit happens.
Sure.
You already know how these dudes give it up. They be ridiculous press, and the shorties boxes like the Sahara. It's like the Sahara. But the bum with the donkey and problems, he's winning. He's winning.
He lives.
Donkey and problems, and he's winning.
Donkey and problems. My man said Deathstroke and problems.
And he's winning.
Yeah. Menace to Society.
Ooh.
Menace to Society, man. One of the biggest regrets I have about that movie is that Tupac Shakur didn't play the part of the lead character. But Tyron Turner did a terrific job, and now that the movie is materialized and it's here, I'm glad Pac didn't do it, because who knows, it may have not, delivered the same way.
Yeah,
right? And what I love about that movie is that I don't care who you are, unless you're from the suburbs somewhere else, that movie had a group of people, the cast of characters, that I think all of us know. Tyron Turner, just graduating from high school. O-Dog. He was the menace to society. That shit was a biographical about him. But anyway, you got Sharif, who had the father, Charles S. Dutton, Rock, my man Rock. That was his father. He was the teacher, and he was absorbing Islam, the nation of Islam, everything, trying to get his life together. And then you had all the other dudes on the end, MC8, he was the OG and so forth, or whatever. But then the ups and downs of life, the vicissitudes of life. That's an SAT word if you want to borrow that. Just enunciate it like vicissitudes of life, right?
There you go.
Yeah. Now I'm a speech pathologist. But anyway, so with that being said, that whole play of how the movie delivered, where this guy wasn't a gangster, he wasn't a great student, he didn't want to go to the military because the father made that he dropped the inkling of that, like, hey, the military, but he was like, don't go, because at the time, that was a whack place for black men to go. That was, the precursor to that was Boys in the Hood, when Furious told his son, hey, you don't go to the military. Yeah. So anyway, just the whole story. The problems with women, unprotected sex. Look what happened. He got the girl pregnant. That was Caffeine's cousin, who came back later to bring Judgment Day. I mean, shout out to Lorenz Tate, man. I know actors go to school. And I know actors have a style of acting called method acting, where they're supposed to take a character and just like absorb that character and remove themselves, but only do recall to certain events in their life to make that believable. They gotta suspend our thought processes about us watching the movie. Who the fuck did Lorenz Tate see growing up that made him act like O-Dog, man? Who did he see that made him say, that's how a gangster acts?
That's gift.
Yeah.
It's God-given. Most high right there. Cousin, blessed.
You ain't gonna do shit. I'm like, Lorenz Tate probably didn't go through no shit like that where he could possess that demon within him and fall out and allow the acting to take place. Nah.
That's a level of act. That's Super Saiyan.
Listen, man, that was crazy. That scene alone right there, man.
It's retarded.
It was amazing, man. Retarded. And that movie, this is not me giving props to a movie that people would deem that aren't from that culture or background as giving props to a ghetto movie, but it doesn't deserve it. No, man, that movie was scared straight too. See, for me, it's the time in my life that I saw these movies. I saw that as a teen, and I remember leaving the movie theater like this, man.
I left a mark on you.
Yeah, I was like, yo.
I left a mark on you.
Fuck is O-Dog? Is he on a 27 bus waiting for us?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, man, call me a punk, man, but I didn't want to bump into O-Dog. I didn't need those problems, Nah, I didn't want to bump into Caffeine either, because he came at the end, did that run to the car like this, his head was all wobbling and shit, and then they got in the car and started smoking weed with some PCP and all that, and loading up the gun with the flag and the clips and... hit that, man. You gonna kill this dude, do. It was crazy, man. So yeah, Menace to Society, man.
No, that's
my other horror movie too.
I gotta hit that right there for Menace. Because Menace is a fire movie, bro. Very strong.
Yeah. Menace to Society, man.
What is flexing gonna get you, my nigga? Yeah, basic Instagram bitch, my nigga. She don't care about your health, just money, my nigga. When you at the bottom to the top is the only direction.